beautiful, deserving, powerful. You are love.
Mimicry is an experiment with movement, connection, and just fun.
I think that we kind of accidentally stumbled upon an amazing platform. Like, there's lights, there's buttons, and that's all you need to really have endless modes of play.
Memory mode, music mode.
Oh yeah! So you ready for this? Are you ready for this? No. Oh, ready for that? I told you to be ready.
Move your body in fun ways with your friend. That's how it's something.
Speed mode.
When are you ready? Hit that.
Just hit the green.
It's endless. It's all code, so we can make anything you want.
We'll have like a work session on it, and it's like we think about like 6 new things that we should do.
You are so inspiring. You are courageous. You are damn beautiful.
Jump in and just press buttons and see what happens. There's no instruction manual. That's kind of like that is a big part of it, is that it's play. It's play first. You can't break anything. You just go and you just touch things and see what happens.
Level 6, baby!
Whoa!
51!
And it's really like funny, I guess, how design comes, how it's not a straight line, how it just, you draw from all these different sources. We're talking about interactive design. I think his idea was, what if we can have just a board of buttons where people can test their reaction times, just how fast you hit a button. But then the big part of interaction is interacting with other people. So how can we incorporate that into this idea of a board of buttons? What if we had 2 boards of buttons? So that on opposite sides of each other, maybe, where if one button is hit, then the respective button lights up, and you can have a little bit of like a game set up where it's a reaction test, but you're giving each other the buttons that you need to be fast to hit. So that's the kind of idea that we had, and we took that and I started to model it up in Fusion 360, and I was playing around with the configuration of buttons and ended up putting them on a circle. Like a design breakthrough happened where now there could be a hole in the middle where you can see the person that you're actually interacting and engaging with. And that's how the structure came about. It's just all about kind of how can we promote the most interactivity, whereas now you can see the person that you're playing with or you're playing against eye to eye, and it just brings a whole nother element to this system of buttons and lights. We really found that we just had a platform where we can launch and make so many things possible. At first there's a reaction test, but then there's another mode. Was what if it's like a Simon Says, like a memory mode where you're pushing the buttons.
Memory mode.
3, 4. Oh, brain. Messed it up.
And then, why stop there? There's also music modes and loop modes. Yeah, so this project took on like so many various tools and skills and know-hows, and it was really exciting because it is the crossroads of woodworking, electronics, of coding, of some like digital fabrication, like CNC and laser cutting. And I guess I've been super lucky that I've been introduced to the makerspace world. I used to work for Maker Labs in Vancouver, and there I just got introduced to so many of these tools that I didn't know how to use before, and to a whole maker culture of just people making things. And it's just so incredible being in a building where your neighbor or your friend is just working on something in a totally different medium than you are, that you just start to learn about all these things. And more than that, you learn like what's possible, and it's not too far out of grasp to learn it as you go. And even if it is, then there's a whole community of people to ask for support on what to do and what to make and how to make it happen. Rotary encoders, that lets you pick the game mode or the game variant. And we have a dot matrix on either side that shows the score or shows different game modes. It's all powered by a Teensy 4.1. And we also have some embedded LEDs around the outside, as well as some speakers in the system. What is true interactivity? How can you create this environment or this space in which people are able to explore, to have some of these really, fun components, and that becomes the experience. There's so much like areas to play within that interactive component. In turn, that creates that art, and that's something I'm so interested in kind of exploring further.
Interactive art is any time where the participant is engaging with the actual art piece and changing how the art piece presents itself, performs, displays, whether that's sound or visuals. And through that participation, it changes the experience.
You are beautiful, inspiring, luminous, gorgeous, deserving, powerful, so worthy.
So the name Mimicry comes from the word biomimicry, because the first version of the game that we thought of was just a two-player game where you'd hit the buttons and encourage you to move in a certain way, and then the person across from you would have to mimic those moves, so hence mimicry. And then the IO is just kind of nerdy. See all the nerdy things? IO stands for input output.
The other, I guess, big design challenge, more like design opportunity that came up, was how to hide the outsides of this shape. It's really easy to CNC the like kind of donut shape, the holes, but then how do you hide the outside without it like looking boring, and with adding in lights so it doesn't just look like an afterthought, but it looks like really core to the design. Put the pattern on through laser cutting a stencil, and then using that stencil to spray paint the recurring pattern all the way around.
In slow motion.
One of the big challenges we had with the code is with aligning all of the music beats to start and on cue. If a beat starts at the wrong time relative to another beat, then you'd know, and it would sound bad. And this was a big problem to handle with code, for that reason, as well as the limitations of the microcontroller. You can only play so many loops at once. So an easy solution would be start all the loops and put all the loops on 0 volume and only turn them on when a button is pressed. But that overwhelmed the microcontroller. So we actually have to keep track of time, and when a button is pressed, on the next beat it'll start the loop, and then on the first beat of the first 4-bar segment it'll always restart the loop, just in case the loop is designed with some variance within the bar. so many of the buttons will have different loops that all work together. They're all in the same key, they're all in the same BPM, as well as there's some other like one-shot sounds that can be played at any time. And for finding the loops, like that's a whole art in its own. So we put a call out on the Facebook group, the Otherworld Facebook group, and so many people stepped up, like strangers, to create loops and to share loops to put on this project, as well as friends. So it was just really impressive, and exciting to just have this way and that people wanted to contribute to a project.